Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lainey. Thank you so much for stopping by. In today's video, I'm doing my first update to the Project Level Up Project Pan. So if you're interested in seeing that, then just keep on watching. Before I get into that though, if you're new here, please remember to hit that subscribe button so you never miss another video from me, and let's hop into the video. Alright, so this is a project created by Sofie Alexandra. I will link her down below, as well as all the information you need to know about this project. This is such a fun project that Sofie created last year, and I watched it all year long in 2022, and I wanted to join in, but now I feel like I have the capacity to join in, and I have been loving it so far. It's only been 1 month, but I have been absolutely loving it. And so if you're new to this project, it's kind of a mix of hitting pan in shadows, but also like no pan left behind. And so if you're on level 1, you need to use all the shadows in your palette once and hit pan in 1 shade. If you're on level 2, use everything twice in 2 pans, and then it just goes up from there. I think most people are ending at level 5. That's what I'm planning on doing. So last month I randomly generated my level 1 palette, and I got Blow and Smoke from ColourPop. And I don't know if you could tell in that video, but I really I wasn't happy with this choice. I really didn't want to work on it for my first palette of this project, but I went along with it. I wanted to use something that was maybe a little bit more out of my comfort zone for what I've been wearing lately, and I have absolutely been loving it. I'm so glad this palette was randomly generated for me. I kind of said this on Instagram. I did a reel, and I reposted it to YouTube Shorts, where I kind of talked about how my makeup style in high school was very, very dark and smoky, very thick winged liner. I remember I had, well, first off, I went through so many KVD tattoo liners, and I had this single packaged shadow from NYX. I believe it was called Charcoal or something like that. It was like a satin shade, and I put that all over my lid, and I had a really thick wing, and that was my everyday eye look. And so having a palette that is like these smoky tones, it's really not something I've worn a lot lately, and it got me really nostalgic for how I used to do my makeup. So I've actually been having a really, really fun time with this palette. So like I said, this is Blow and Smoke, and I will show you what it's looking like today. And I think you can tell I've managed to hit level 1, which I was not going to film an update this month if I didn't hit pan. If I had some dips and things like that, I just felt like it would have been a 3-minute long video and not very exciting. So for level 1, I at least wanted to hit pan, so I had something to talk about. If it was like level 2 and I didn't succeed level 2, but I had 1 pan, I probably would have done an update, but I did hit pan. So I'm going to go through each shade one by one and tell you how many times I used it. So right here, this is a white, and I used it 1 time. This is the shade Young Love. Then right here we have a shimmer. This is the shade Smokin', and I used that 3 times. Right here I have the shade Stone Face, and I have used that 8 times. Right here I have the shade Slated, and I used that once. The middle shade is Starstruck, and I used that 6 times. The shade with pan in it is the shade Ignite, and I use that 11 times to hit pan. Then this matte black over here, Let's Do It, I use that 4 times. The middle shimmer and the, well, I guess for you it's the top row, Full Metal, I used 2 times. And then the sparkly black Night Dream, I used 2 times. So as you can tell, I actually used the majority of these shadows more than once, and I think that just goes to show how much fun I've had with this palette so far. I didn't take too many pictures of the looks that I've been doing, and I did do, like I said, the YouTube short and Instagram reel. It's the same look, so you don't need to see them on both platforms, but I did that look. And then really what I've been doing is taking the shade, what was it, Stone Faced, in the crease. Then I would take Ignite and put that in the crease and also the outer corner and really smoke it out. And then I would put Cleona Carving on my lid, and I actually hit pan on Carving today. That's my Duty Pan, my Battleship Project pan. So kind of a similar look to what I'm wearing today, although I took a black and kind of outlined the shimmer in this look today. This look really evolved. Originally it was one where I had like matte here, a matte here, and then this was open and just shimmer, but I didn't really like the look of that. I've done that with other shades, I just didn't like it with this. So then I just kind of put the creases, or put the mattes where it was missing, and just kind of did, this is basically what I've been wearing lately with this palette. So Nothing like super exciting, but it's really been a great everyday look for me. I kind of knew exactly what I needed to pull out in the morning, and I just did that, and I was trying to hit pan and carving anyway, and it was like the perfect pairing. I really enjoyed using this palette. If you watch my deck of panning intro, you guys know kind of I added on to my plan to pan kind of just goals for 2022 or 2023. I've been doing that so often lately. But for 2023, I want to use all my palettes at least 5 times. So for me to count a palette use as a actual use, I have to use at least 3 shades in the palette. I feel like if I don't want to just count like dipping into it once, so that's why I gave the 3 number. And so I was able to, today was my 5th full look with this palette. And so like I said, I would usually take that lighter matte gray, the shade I hit pan on, and then I would usually take maybe the black or the silver in the middle and use that as like an inner corner highlight. So I think I've had enough blabbering on about this palette, but I really, really enjoyed using this palette, and I'm just, this is why this project is so great, you know? Like, there's so many palettes in my collection that are not as well used as they should be, and now I've got use on it, and, you know, I'm really glad that I used so many of the shades so many times. Oh, I didn't touch on this. In my intro video, I really wasn't sure what shade I wanted to hit pan on. I was actually thinking of the shade Stone Face. I know a few of you guys mentioned, you know, doing the shimmers or like the middle shade Starstruck because that could be an inner corner highlight, but the shade Ignite, I don't know if you're going to be able to tell, but it's actually one of those matte with glitter formulas, and so this was a lot, or it was very powdery compared to some of the other mattes. I mean, I used this shade 8 times, the one above it, and I am nowhere near hitting pan in that shade. So, yeah, I think I wasn't planning, this one was not on my radar, panning Ignite, but it just made the most sense, and I really enjoyed using it. Okay, so I'm gonna pull out Tiny Decisions, and I have all my palettes in here. I took, yeah, I took Blown Smoke out, and I took a few palettes out of this. I have a Tarte palette. I just don't want to, I don't want to hit pans. I don't want to try to hit pan in a Tarte shadow. I just think that would be really difficult. I removed my Pat McGrath Midnight Sun palette because I know that would be really difficult. And then I have a little mini palette from Tammy Tenuga, and the pan sizes are so tiny, it would basically just be finishing the shadow. It would not even be hitting pan. So I removed that one. All right, let's generate our level 2 palette. Wilderness. Okay, so that is, okay, so the Beauty Bay Wilderness palette, I am panning, I am currently working on a shade in that palette, so I'm actually going to randomly generate another one. I don't know if I said that in my intro, but I don't want to really be working on a palette that I'm already working on. It's my pleasure. Ooh, okay. Let me grab that palette really quick. We generated It's My Pleasure, which is another ColourPop 9 pan. This is actually one of my favorite 9 pans from ColourPop. I love this one. I actually already have pan in it. So this is what it's looking like. I have to be really careful because some of the shimmers are pretty fragile. I already have pan in Earth Shine. This used to be one of my favorite shades of all time, although I used it recently in a Get Ready With Me, and the quality has definitely gone down. But I have a big pan in that shade. This shade right here was from the, what is it called? The Gather On Sisters palette from the Hocus Pocus collab, the first one. So this is, I mean, that's the only shade that's swapped out, but I love this palette. This is a great level 2 palette. I love wearing purple, so I will have no problems with this either. So what am I thinking for hitting pan on? I feel like, let's see, Mr. Sandman is definitely a contender. That one has a pretty big dip. And then for the second one, I'm thinking it's going to be Kittenfish, which is this matte up here. I did at one point scrape, it had some hard pan, so I just kind of scraped it out. If it's not Kittenfish, I could see it being one of these two. You can't really tell on camera, but especially, which one is this? Sleeper. It has actually a pretty good dip. Yeah, there you can see these two actually have a little bit of a good dip on it. So I think it'll be one matte and one shimmer. The other shades I like, but they're not, I don't love them as much as Earthshine, Mr. Sandman, and these two mattes down here. So I'm really excited about this one. I don't know that I can have it done in a month. I don't think so, but I think I'll have at least one pan by this time next month. So this is really, really exciting. I love this palette, and I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun with it. It's a good one. So let me just do one final close-up. Here's what the palette looks like. All right, so that is all I have for you today. I'm really, really excited about working on it. It's my pleasure, and I'm excited to see what progress I can make by this time next month. So yeah, that is all I have for you today. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, leave a comment if you like down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!